You wake up, you smoke. You wash your hair, you smoke. You finish reading a book, you smoke. Like, let's go. Hi guys, it's Laurie, back at it again by God's grace. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome to my channel. My name's Larissa, but you may call me Laurie right after you smack the subscribe button and you hit the bell so you're notified every time I upload. So I hope everyone's doing well during this quarantine. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. So last week, well 2 weeks ago, I did a video. It was a vlog of my last days before quarantine and you guys really loved it. And I've been receiving a lot of questions regarding French life and how it compares to American life. A recap of my life, a little some. I grew up in New York and I've also lived in France and I've also lived in Paris. And I've also lived in Benin. But this video, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be comparing the differences that I've personally noticed between France and the United States. Now, this is solely, strictly based on my experience. I'm not generalizing that all Americans are the same or that all French people are the same. What I'm gonna be saying in this video are the differences I've noticed personally through my personal experience. Disclaimers. So don't be attacking me in the comments below, okay? All right. I lived in both countries for a decent amount of time. When I say America versus France, I'm gonna be talking most specifically about New York, which is where I lived, and Paris, Ile-de-France, which is where I live right now in France. So first thing is the people. The first thing I noticed, or I've been noticing ever since I've been traveling back and forth between France and the United States, is that the people are different mentally. People in America in general are much more friendlier than French people. Granted, people in New York City are maybe a little bit more aggressive than most of America, but generally speaking, Americans are way more friendlier and open than French people. New York people, they're more aggressive, but they're not mean, you know? It's just the way people are there. But in France, I've deadass seen like teenagers curse at like senior citizens because they were crossing the street really slowly. French people are mad disrespectful and mean compared to American people. And this is what I've noticed. Again, please don't crucify me in the comment section. If you're French, you're watching this, like, no, we're not like this. This is just what I've noticed. So the first difference is the people, the mindset. Also regarding people behavior, there's a big difference when it comes to smoking in America versus in France. When I say smoking, I mean specifically cigarettes. Like in France, you know, people literally be smoking everywhere. You wake up, you smoke. You wash your hair, you smoke. You finish reading a book, you smoke. Like literally everywhere you go, there's smoke. Where you go, no, there's a smoke, there's a smoke. Cancer cells are seeing. But in the United States, smoking is very frowned upon. But what people do smoke a lot though is that Mary J, that devil's lettuce, that hot whatever you call it. That they smoke a lot. But cigarettes, Next, the dress. The way people dress. Oh my god. There is such a big difference regarding how people dress in the States and in France. I noticed that more once I got to college. I went to college in the States. Like, people dress so casually. Like, people will deadass wear the pajamas to go to class or like wear joggers to go to school. And I remember when I first moved to France to start middle school, I used to wear like Juicy Couture, Victoria's Secret joggers to class before we got uniforms, because my high school ended up getting uniforms. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, we ended up getting uniforms. And I remember my classmates and teachers used to look at me weird, like, why are you wearing joggers to school? Like, what? That was in middle school. But my joggers were not like regular ass, dusty ass joggers, okay? They were Juicy Couture, Victoria's Secret, so I was still but it was still weird to them. But eventually I adapted to like French way of dressing. So when I got to college, I used to come to class and stunt on these hoes. Like, eyebrows did, my face a beat, hair did Hotel Trivago. Oh, but like I used to always like dressing myself and like looking cute. I used to pull up to functions like dressed all nice and stuff. People would ask me like, where are you
going after this? Where are you going after this?
And I used to be like,
nowhere.
Like, I'm here. I have arrived at my destination. Like, I'm not going anywhere. That's just the way I dress. So dressing is a big thing. On campus, I remember people will come to school like literally wearing, you know, loose fitting outfits, laid back. Some people will show up in their pajamas. Like, I don't judge, but that just wasn't me. And I've also noticed that in America, women, as like most specifically black women, because like we are the ones who tend to wear like bonnets and stuff, they could literally go out with their bonnet. I could never do that. I have nothing against people who do it. I don't look down upon them or anything. But personally, I just don't feel comfortable enough to ever go out to the store in a bonnet. Like even to buy bread. Like here in the morning you buy bread. That's a thing here. It's like a short run. I couldn't do it. But 125th Street, Harlem, yo, my sisters got the bonnets, out and about, you know, getting their nails done, doing some grocery shopping with the bonnets on. I could never do that. Like, if I have to do a quick grocery shopping, I might have like a quick wig I could put on, or like I might wrap my head or something, but a legit bonnet to go out, I can never. So that's a difference. My motto is, if you look good, you feel good. And if you feel good, you do good. And I live by that. Next is the food. The food. Y'all already know that's a big difference. I personally think that the food in the States is 10 times tastier. More tasty. Can we say tastier? Is that a thing? I think so. And the food in France. But notice how I say tastier and not healthier. I'm not saying American food is healthier. Everybody knows American food is not healthier. Everybody knows that America is the land of the thick. Everybody knows that. It's not a secret. They gotta do better. Something I've always noticed is that at the McDonald's, right? A large French fry in France is similar to a medium fry in America. That always blew my mind. Like vanilla milkshakes do not exist in France. I'm still not over that, especially because summer is coming. These vanilla milkshakes were the biznaï, okay? They used to hit. In France, they have McFlurries, milkshakes knockoffs. It's like Gucci versus the Gap. I don't know why. That's what popped in my mind now. Oh, I miss them so bad. But when it comes to KFC though, KFC in France has these cream balls called cream balls. And it's basically like a ice cream sundae. And the KFC in America doesn't have it. And also the KFC in France, they sell fries and potatoes. Meanwhile, the KFC in America sells strictly potatoes. You can't get fries. I personally hate potatoes. I only like fries. But when it comes to taste and stuff, they OD in the salt in America. Just a fact. They OD. It comes to like salt, sugar, OD. But here in France, the restaurants, fast food regulations are really strict and stuff. They don't even salt your fries anymore in some fast food restaurants. You have to salt the fries yourself. Another thing is free refills. That does not exist in France. But in America, even at restaurants, yo, you don't even have to ask. You finish your cup, you put it down, the waitress comes, oh, boom. You don't even have to ask sometimes. You don't even have to ask. Okay, it's great. Oh, and when it comes to the sauce, they be blessing in the States. Be like, can I have some ketchup? Sure. In France, you can ask for ketchup. You're asking for a freaking kidney or something. It's just ketchup, sis. It's just ketchup. Why do you have to act like that? Next big difference is religion. This goes back to the whole thing of me saying how like, French people are more close-minded than American people. Well, I don't know if this counts as like being open-minded or close-minded, but in France, for example, in like public schools or if you work for the government, you're not allowed to show your religion. Like for example, if you're Muslim, you're not allowed to wear a hijab, or if you go to public schools, hijabs are prohibited. And if you're Christian, you can't wear a cross. Anything that shows your faith, you're not allowed to. The reason for that, I believe it's so people will be viewed as equal. America, that's completely different. You can wear a hijab if you want. You can wear crosses at school, whether it be public or private. That's totally not the case in France. All right, so lastly, the biggest difference, at least for me, is the healthcare system. America, we already know health is OD expensive and not everyone has healthcare. Everybody has insurance, and insurance is extremely expensive. And I know the Donald is trying to change what Obama did with Obamacare and stuff. He's really making things very complicated for people who don't have a lot of money to have insurance. I know that insurance is really hard to get in America and extremely expensive. Meanwhile, in France, the healthcare system is basically free. If you have like, it's called a carte vitale, it's your insurance card, and literally everyone has insurance. French healthcare is basically free compared to the American healthcare system. I think it's even said that France has the best healthcare system in the world. I've been hospitalized for the last few years, so I can testify to that it's actually true to some extent. If you have a chronic illness, you're basically covered 100% for everything. CAT scans, PET scans, MRIs, all that are basically free if you have a chronic illness. If you don't have a chronic illness, you are still covered and you pay like, I think 80%. No, I mean, the insurance pays like for 80% or something. It's not free like compared to some of the chronic illness, but it's still way cheaper than the American system. I've heard horror stories concerning the American system. The American healthcare system, basically people who have been left to die in the ER because they didn't have insurance, or people who literally need to get a PET scan or MRI scan, or basically any of these scans, they don't have the means to pay for it and they literally just die. So that's crazy. I'm really so grateful for the French healthcare system. And like a lot of people move to France because of the healthcare system, despite the fact that they literally go on strike every 5 seconds. I can't even count the amount of times even the emergency nurses have gone on strike. Not even the hospital. French people just love striking. I think the longest strike was like a few months ago in December. The whole train system went on strike for 2 months straight with the gilets jaunes, the yellow vest. That was crazy. Paris looked like a war zone. Anyways, guys, so that was it. The 5 main differences that I personally found between France and the United States. If this could help anyone who's curious about coming to France, or a French person who's curious about going to America, I hope this video helped you in any way, gave you an idea of how these two countries are. If you guys want me to go more in depth between France and America, let me know in the comments below. If you guys have any questions regarding my experiences in both countries, let me know down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and if you made it this far in the video, comment a pineapple, because I've been craving pineapples and the only pineapples I've had are sour pineapples. Catch you guys in my next video. Bye.